What's good, everyone? It's Summer 17. That boy Dustin Poirier got himself a nice little buff. But before that, we're going to go over his perks. So, his perks, +3 recovery, recovers more health between rounds. For his speed and his accuracy, is +4 with laser focus and fast hands together. Weathering storms is +5 to his block, and predator is +5 to his footwork when moving sideways. So, Dustin, what really got buffed, I think it's like just a couple points with some things with regards to his striking. He's really gotten solid, especially after the rematch and the trilogy. You know, the unfortunate event happened there, but his boxing was on point in that fight. His grappling was pretty solid as well. He looked great, man. He looked great, and I don't think, my personal opinion is, like, I don't think it was looking too good for Conor anyways, even prior to the break. But his punch speed's a 96 now. Punch power's a 95. I think that's kind of always been the same. I'm not too sure, someone can correct me on that. Block is pretty high. His accuracy, 98. Not that it mattered, because it was already 96, and his perk already brought it up to 100. Footwork is a 97. Switch stance is a 94. That one should have happened a long time ago. If you guys know how Dustin fights, he's a really good shifter when he strikes. He's extremely good. He disguises his kicks, his takedowns with his shifting abilities. It's really something nice to watch. His kick power is a 90. His kick speed is a 92. One thing about a lot of fighters on the roster, which people kind of forget, the perks are a flat value. So even when somebody gets nerfed -1 or they get buffed +1, it's not really too much of a buff, because if their perk was already +4 and the game caps out at 100, well, that buff really didn't do much. It's, you know, kind of for show. But his takedowns did get buffed to 90, top control to a 92. I believe there's still some actual move buffs that didn't go through. His cardio, I believe his shin is now 95. His recovery is 94. Someone could correct me if that was higher. If this is higher than before. I thought it was kind of already like that. But really, when you want to see a fighter get buffed, you want to go to their move levels. And if I recall correctly, these changes and then a couple of his move level changes were the ones that kind of went through. He definitely has some grappling ones that haven't made it through that I've requested literally 2 months ago, and they still haven't got it in. So I'm hoping that maybe in the next update they'll be able to get those in after they verify stuff that I've already proven. But yeah, he has a level 5 lead hook now. That one I've requested for like over the last few months. Boxing combinations level 5. I believe he got that a couple months after the Conor rematch. And yeah, we're gonna go take a look at everything else in Dustin the Diamond Poirier's moveset. It's gonna be a banger when he fights Charles Oliveira. Wonder who y'all got for that one. So Dustin, post buff, this is the good stuff. So his lead hook is now a level 5, which makes this not only an effective lead to start combinations with, but also a pretty deadly counter to chain combinations with. Especially also his rear hook is now level 4. I believe the one thing that didn't make it through yet was a buff to his lead overhand, because unfortunately Dustin doesn't have access to shifting combinations like Max Holloway. It's attached to the fighter's idol, so that kind of sucks, because he should be able to do that, and that's something that I would hope that they do for UFC 5, allow for fighters that shift, allow more of them to do it kind of universally and their own signature stuff to be left alone. But yeah, he has a pretty much a solid punching moveset. His kicks are a lot better now, obviously. His calf kick is level 4. That was already in before. Lead body roundhouse, I found a few clips after post-surgery Dustin. His lead body roundhouse looks good. His rear body roundhouse looks solid as well. Lead roundhouse kick to the head, because he's used it in combination, especially against, I believe, Eddie Alvarez and Justin Gaethje. His rear roundhouse isn't the best kick, but it is what it is. Front kick's pretty good. Body front kick's pretty solid. I always said that body front kick should be a 4. He's yeeted people with that so many times. Here, the buffs here are lacking. Everything that says 2-star there should be a 3-star. Double leg wise, it should be 3-star double leg, and it's because of some previous fights that I found Dustin hitting specific turns and whatnot. So he doesn't have access to chaining some specific turns, and I'll get on that. I promise you, I'm gonna get you on that video, but I just want to make sure that whatever I show y'all is 100% accurate. So right here, when it comes to takedowns, when it comes to chaining takedowns and whatnot, right? This is Dustin's only option, because he's only at wrestling level 2. He could chain his power takedown from a denied takedown, and the only way you can do that is if you have a good stamina advantage and you're inputting the left stick forward. But we'll get on that. But at least Dustin has access to that, right? He got the defended double leg, access to the power finish. He can drive forward if somebody denies the initial turn. All his BJJ transitions are level 3, and his wrestling transitions are level 2. These ground and pound strikes haven't been buffed yet. His grappling's been relatively the same, and like I already said, his boxing combinations at 5, Muay Thai's at level 3, and his kickboxing at Muay Thai's level 2, and kickboxing's at level 2, if I'm correct, after I give it a little look here. But without further ado, we're gonna take Dustin over to a quick fight, and we're gonna have some fun. So enjoy the showcase. So this guy chose Conor McGregor, and a lot of people, I don't know what, they kind of complain about, like, oh my god, they took away minus this from Conor, or this and that. He's still good. He's absurdly good still. I don't know what people are talking about. He's the best 4-star fighter on the roster, in my opinion. Next to Max Holloway and lightweight, like, those two guys are extremely good, and he shouldn't really be a 4-star, but we'll see. Now there's a specific way a lot of Conor players play. They play in 1s and 2s. Right, we're gonna see. They try to force you to respond, right? And they mainly stick to 1s and 2s. They do a little bit of footsies, and I'm pretty happy this guy's playing the way I kind of expect him to play. Ooh, nice combo! I didn't know Conor had that. Okay, wow, this guy's flowing, huh? So what makes Conor so dangerous is that skirmisher perk. It allows him to play footsies really well and just slightly slide out of range. And they pressure a lot of players. They pressure you with his footwork, and then just as you're about to throw, they get right back out of range, and they try to get you to exchange when your short-term stamina is low. So if you haven't already noticed, if you're blinder than me, I'm playing without the HUD. And the HUD is called the heads-up display, so this tells me if my if my head health is low, if my stamina is low, if I have grapple advantage. That's the whole point of a HUD. It's a heads-up display. It's supposed to let me know. God damn, keeps getting me with that kick. Should have sidestepped that by now. And the one thing I love about fighting without the HUD, is that the hit reactions. Yeah, there you go. Can tell you where the guy's head health is at. If you have the vibration on your controller, I also tell you how hard a strike is, and you can kind of work like that. But also just the visual cues when the guys start saying they bloodied up and whatnot. You see Dustin's basically untouched. I'm not gonna rear naked choke this guy or anything. But speaking of Dustin versus Conor, I think Dustin, he has probably one of the deepest resumes in the lightweight division. Really. Like, you know, outside the loss of Khabib, and obviously Khabib's never lost, he has, I think Dustin, even though he lost to Khabib, he has a better resume than Khabib. If you really think about it, he's the one guy, one champion he hasn't beaten in the lightweight division, RDA. I like his chances against RDA, you know? And if he beats Charles Oliveira, that's going to be crazy, because that's going to be the next fight that's booked. This guy doesn't know much about GA, does he? I'll pass around. But yeah, Dustin, he looked great. His timing was on point. That lead hook, he used that. You guys gotta watch his fight against Holloway. The rematch against Holloway is what I'm talking about. His fight against Dan Hooker, his fight against Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez. That lead hook is fucking money. And when he shifts into orthodox and lands that motherfucker, god damn. I don't know what am I hitting the necktie? I think I'm hitting the necktie. Yeah, just prove your necktie. I knew that Dustin has submissions on both sides. I just wasn't sure which is which. Prove your necktie. I actually learned this in jiu-jitsu not so long ago. It's a pretty fun submission. Not fun to have done to you, though. For sure. But yeah, outside of all these buffs that Dustin got, I feel that there's definitely a specific way you gotta play with him. I think leading with his straight, in the right times, of course, because it's a rear-handed move, and therefore it costs more long-term stamina if you whiff. That can help you a lot, leading with the straight and then following up with combinations afterwards. His jab is pretty good. Playing smart and not... You can play on the back foot with Dustin if you're really good, but overall, like, he's got everything that he needs. But I think I've downloaded this guy's information enough, so we're just going to press him a little bit forward here. There you go. Could have been a flash body KO there. I think the hook missed. So when I was talking about with players playing in twos, good to know. See, it's 1, 2. It's gonna be 1 to the body, 1 to the head. Maybe he'll throw in the third strike, and it's just trying to catch me at a specific rhythm. Because an issue that a lot of players tend to have is that they fight by taking turns. They're taking turns when they're striking. Like, you go, I go. You go, I go. Or you wait too long. Fucking Christ, this fucking kick. You wait too long. Yeah, he's forcing it now. Yeah, his short-term stamina was low as fuck. And when you're taking turns, you're just kind of waiting to see who's going to get the first drop. And right here, I can already tell this guy's getting frustrated. He's doing a good job throwing the jab and then going forward. With the right stick to land that cross a little bit earlier. Nah, I'm not going to waste my time grappling this guy. But yeah, Dustin feels, he feels like a brick. I remember like trying to exchange with Conor beforehand. And, like, you just didn't want any part of it. You had to grapple the guy first, and now, you know, Dustin Mr. 1-3 in the lightweight. Not Dustin. Conor Mr. 1-3 in the lightweight division. Oh, he gets his comeuppance for sure. There it is. That lead hook is money. I'm surprised it hasn't killed him yet. Bang. Oh man, that was. I should have done the lead hook. I should have seen if that would have flashed him. But that felt clean. Dustin just feels. He feels the way that he should feel. The guy has one of the deepest resumes in the lightweight division. After the Michael Johnson loss is where a lot of his improvements came. I feel that against Khabib, there's a lot of things I feel like he did wrong against Khabib, and I'll get on that once I get to the next fight. But sheesh, that bait to get that little KO. You drop a like for that. And if you already ain't subscribed to me, you watching this video, drop a subscribe for that too. So we're gonna get to searching for another fight.
Coming up next, we get to this lightweight tilt between Dustin the Diamond Poirier,
Charles Oliveira. Man, who Dustin is likely to fight next. And I don't know what the hell Dana White is talking about. You can talk about giving Conor a 4-fight dude. The dude hasn't won a fight in the lightweight division since 2016. You know, he hasn't. The Cerrone fight was in welterweight. He's lost his last 3 lightweight fights, albeit two of the best two of, you know, one of the best lightweights of all time. Well, this guy's moving a lot. And I understand that, but you got to see if he's even at that. Not that he's even at that level. It's just there's certain things that Conor needs to have work in a fight, especially the mental game, and it's just not there. He's an extremely talented fighter, probably one of the best in distance management. Like, this guy's trying to play footsies here and make him miss all over the place, and I'm gonna catch up to him, and I'm gonna break his rhythm as well. But I think Conor just has to. I think RDA would probably be a good fight for him. Wink, wink. Maybe just engage just to see if Conor has it, because clearly the dude's talking shit, talking about the guy's family while he's sitting there with a fucked up tibia. It's not breaking out of his bone or of his skin or anything, but it's just fucked up. And you can tell he still loves fighting, but you just don't want to see the guy take any unnecessary damage if his heart's not fully in there, Let me stop talking. I'm starting to whiff. So with Dustin, right? It's usually at best when you're pressuring forward with your footwork, you're planting your strikes, right? You're gonna plant your strikes, and you're not gonna hold too much forward on the left stick. This is what gets a lot of players messed up. They're holding forward a little bit too much on the left stick, and that's kind of hurts their frame recovery. And I promise you, I'm gonna get on that in another video. Planting and then throwing your combination, and then knowing when to slide out of range is the best thing you could do. And this applies to a lot of fighters. I do like the way this guy's trying to feint, working his way into the pocket. Little spins here. But I can gauge out the reactions that I'm getting from him. And you can tell by right now from the no HUD, he's getting bloodied up. I'm barely getting touched. That cross is landing. He's missing. He's hitting the air. Did Marshall just texting me? Yeah, he did. Oof. Let's see. And this is look a little. I like the way this guy's playing for sure with Oliveira. Not exactly the way I would expect a Charles Oliveira to play. Playing on the back foot. But the one thing that kind of, it's kind of like a little drawback, especially when somebody has power, the way that Dustin has, is that if you're losing, oh, no, fuck out of here. If you're losing the exchanges and you're hanging on the back foot, it's not going to bode well for you, and especially in the 3-round fight. And sometimes a lot of players, they don't recognize that. If you're in a 3-round fight, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to take initiative and you're going to have to go forward. If you guys have watched me stream, I have my friends, some of my friends like Swiss, But when they start to go forward, you know, sometimes playing on the back foot, I gotta take that away. I gotta plant. I gotta stand my ground and fire back. But overall, it's a pretty good round. Oliveira has a sneaky little crane kick to the body and to the head, and the animation is so similar. You gotta be really careful against that. So I'm gonna be aware of that right now on this round. I'm gonna be ready to sidestep it. I believe they fixed the bug that had that both of those strikes tracking sidesteps. So I'm gonna be aware of it. I'm gonna try to force him. Yep, and that's the proper way to pressure. You get somebody trying to exchange, put him in a blender. I can tell his head off isn't fully recovered yet. And I'm just slowly chipping away. And this is one of those questions about Oliveira that people have had before. You know, when he fought Mike Chandler, people said, oh, he doesn't have heart. Nah, damn, man, this motherfucker has a chin. But, you know, against somebody like Dustin, I do think that if Charles takes down Dustin and he's on top, I think Dustin's going to be in for a pretty rough night. You know, to somebody like Oliveira, you don't want that dude working on his jiu-jitsu magic on you. It's just, it's not where you want to be. Off his back, I don't even think, fuck, Dustin wants to, fucking hell, I hate that kick, wants to entertain that stuff. No. But if he keeps this fight on the feet, got him with the short-term stamina's low, hit him with the Dustin Flurry, let's go. Y'all recognize where that flurry is from? Let me know in the comments. That's a specific combination sequence against a certain two fighters. If you guys can call it out, I'll be very impressed. I don't know, that fight's got to be a pick'em. I don't think Dustin should be the favorite. I think that fight's a pick'em. Definitely would want Dustin to win though.
Well, he's really starting to land a high number of strikes here in this.
Y'all need to watch that. Hit him with the nice little block counter. If you guys have seen the striking tips video I have for UFC 4, hitting somebody with a block counter when they land on the lead side of your block with a lead hook or any really type of hook or an overhand against that side, you immediately input the lead hook input and you can fire off a block counter that's going to hit stun them or can even drop them every time. It's one of the best things that you can add to your arsenal, and especially now because Dustin has a level 5 lead hook. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. It's in open stance matchups. If it's orthodox versus southpaw, just gonna let him reverse me. Who cares? Right, and he's throwing a straight lead hook. That's an easy block counter right there. If it's same stance matchup, it's gonna be the rear hook that I'm gonna be able to block counter. So if you really spend time mastering that, it's just gonna make people trying to exchange with Dustin just a lot harder than it already is right now. Nope, it's gonna deny that. And go for the Conor, because why not? So far, pretty clean. I got a couple more showcases coming up too. I got a few in mind. I know TJ and Sanhagen are fighting soon, so I gotta bang out a couple of those. There it is. I love it. Let's go. The replay caught the block counter. I love that. Oh man, I have fun, man. If y'all watch my streams for UFC 3, Dustin, I used to use him. Him and Aldo were like my top 2 fighters, and RDA too on UFC 3. And I used Dustin when he had no hair, when he was bald Dustin. Ooh, he's hurt. Woo! Put that boy in the blender. Toma. When Dustin has a flurry in the fight, those shits is like the coolest thing ever, man. That man just keeps throwing like his stamina is never gonna drop, bro. That man has a brutal fucking pace, especially when he senses blood. Oof. Yeah, it's crazy to see the evolution of a fighter. Yep. Oh man. Man, this guy's taking some fucking punishment. Jesus Christ. I gotta get him out of here. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. I don't know what the hell Oliveira's recovery is right now. Posted buff, I forgot. No, you're not shooting on nobody. But I gotta get this out of here. He tried to go for it and convert to a knee. Nope. Spinning elbow. I don't think everybody should have that. I think that's pretty dumb. Just gonna go for this. To finish the fight armbar. If you want to hit this, even like though I have no HUD, there's just certain positions where if you go L1 or R1 and up or left and right, if you've been there enough times, it doesn't matter if you see the HUD or not. Anytime you get into a finish the fight position after a rock or drop, if your fighter has it in their arsenal, there's very likely they're gonna have a finish the fight submission. And it's looking like, yo, this guy's defense ain't half bad. Fuck. Am I gonna get this? No, yeah, I'm gonna get this. Alright, let's go. But yeah, it's insane to see. And I think one of the biggest things that kind of sucks about the whole Conor injury thing is that some people are gonna point to that as this and that, but consider that, you know, Conor was throwing his kicks fast, but at Dustin's knee. He wasn't really throwing at the thigh, wasn't really throwing at the calf. He was landing. Oh my god, what a fucked up animation. You know, there's damage that adds up from there, you know, as a result of Dustin's attempted defense. He throwing improper kicks with improper technique. I know there's a break that John Wayne Parr posted right before the teep kick that lands on Dustin's elbow. You know, he broke his foot a little bit on Dustin's thigh, so it's just added up damage, and it's just, man, it's insane. I would have preferred that Dustin had been able to finish him, but I think from that alone we know how good he is. But we're searching for one more. It's kind of hard to get good fights.
It is a lightweight bout between Dustin the Diamond Poirier
El Cucuy Ferguson. Not gonna lie, interesting pick. When I chose Dustin, I think the hardest thing, I wanted to use my my Romero 17 YouTube account, and I can't get a single fight on it because when I'm on Quick Fight and people see that and they see I'm using Dustin, they're like, nope, I'm leaving. And ranked, every time I get home from work or I get home from training, it's not there. Like, it's never the weight class is there, and I'm not gonna stay up to 4 or 5 a.m. waiting for a weight class up here. It's a dub for me. This guy, I fought him before, I think in a previous showcase, and he likes to play footsie. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of trying to blitz him, I'm gonna show you guys how exactly to beat the little footsies and not head movement game. Because again, a lot of people think you can't. You can still run in this game, bro. Like, you can definitely still run and circle and hang back and not commit and just force the other guy to get impatient. A lot of players still do that. It doesn't matter how strong or weak the block is. That's always gonna be a case when the game doesn't have realistic collisions. So if you haven't picked up on it by now, what I'm doing is I'm going to be using R2 to feint my strikes and bait out specific reactions from him. And wherever he lands and what he's looking to do, I'm either going to A, try to stay out of range, B, try to block the strike, or try to C, intercept whatever strike. Right there. And you see, once I get to a specific corner, oh fucking Christ. Oh my god, I didn't land. Oh my god. But okay, he didn't recognize that. You can see when he starts to get frustrated, he starts to spin a little bit. And now that he's going forward with the jab, I'm going to look to chip away with the lead calf kick. Sucks that the range on it isn't exactly the best, but he didn't go forward on that cross. Now, lead hook is landing for me. Good block counter there. And you see, when he goes forward, right, and I'm stepping in and out of range, now I'm forcing him to react to me. And now I'm beating him at his own game, right? So once he starts to get uncomfortable, I guarantee he's going to back right up, but right back into the cage when it's the start of the fight, right? Once I start to try to change on him, he's waiting for me to come in. You see that? And I'm not throwing nothing. I haven't thrown anything. I'm seeing what's his on the trigger defensive action. Like, what type of counters does he have ready in his arsenal? And this is how a lot of players, they're already kind of ready to go, and that's why they throw the sequence that they're throwing, because they're aware of what the other guy can throw. So right now, like, I've landed a lot of damage, right? I'm beating this guy in the exchanges. There's not really much I have to do. So I implore y'all, if you're winning 3-4 minutes of a fight and the other guy hasn't done anything, if he doesn't want to commit, you know, you don't want to clinch, you don't want to take him down, you don't want to do anything crazy, win, chip away at his health. Alright, don't do anything stupid. And you simply win the round, one round at a time. Just like that, that's an easy one in the back. Tony's still a bit of an issue in this division to fight too, because if you take him down, his sub defense is pretty good outside of that, you know, clearly still busted rear naked choke. I don't know what the devs are saying that they patched it, but I don't think they did. I mean, they nerfed it a little bit. You can kind of see that they nerfed it, but it's still busted to me. You know, Tony has all these crazy subs. He has rubber guard. He has that body crane kick. I don't know if a lot of people know that. You touch him up. His leg off isn't there, but the dude is just tough. He's like a zombie. Good lunge. That's a preemptive lunge, though. He's not lunging because he knows what strike I'm throwing. He's lunging preemptively because he's expecting for me to throw a strike from my lead side or a power strike from the rear side. So unless I throw an overhand, usually if I'm throwing a straight strike or I'm throwing like a kick or something, he might lunge away from that. But there's no purpose behind this guy's lunges. Oh, fucking Christ. Come on. That shit took him off his feet. Right. And look, you can even see from the strike numbers, I'm quadruple in landing what I've landed. And I'm not throwing at an insane, crazy pace at all. Right? I could if I want to. I feel like I have this guy downloaded and I can just kind of run through him. But I want to make it a point that when you're going against somebody who's doing the footsie stuff, I'm just going to forget to my input there. You know, you can play that game too. And a lot of it just comes from patience. There's not a huge level of commitment from this player right now. Right, he's going to throw one or two things to try to get me off my guard and get me to come forward. But he's losing every single exchange. He hasn't done any significant damage throughout this fight. I thought he would have stepped on a leg kick there. I love that overhand counter. And that pull counter cross is just eating him up. Dustin had a nice pull counter lead hook. I got to figure out the range and timing for the pull counter lead hook. Maybe I could try it this fight, but I gotta get better at feinting that calf kick. I'm so used to landing the regular leg kicks in UFC 3, so my range is kind of fucked. So sometimes I think it's there and it's not, and I just whiff and I look stupid. There it is. Whoop. And just like that, I'm not doing nothing crazy. Just kind of baiting out the shots. Sure, I whiffed right there, but there it is. He's thinking I'm going low. He tried to fire up a front kick up the middle. And Dustin could do this all day. 95 cardio. Oh, fucking Christ, man. He's feinting the leg kick and then going to a spin. I gotta commend it. It's a very Tony-like thing to do. Speaking of Tony, man, he is... You know, in his losses, people are saying he's washed, right? And I don't think that's the case, right? I think that the vision not only has grown past him. Ah, come on, fuck! I could have got that. But you know, he's always had fundamental issues with his boxing. He's an unorthodox fighter. If you watch his first run against RDA was having a good job boxing him until the eye poke, I believe, in round 2. And after that eye poke, he's like literally 3 inches deep in RDA's eye. And you know, it was hard for RDA to fight. He's still able to go to 5 rounds with Tony, but Tony was just chilling. But if you watch this fight with Lando Venata, you watch this fight with Kevin Lee, Kevin Lee's, you know, he's a solid kickboxer, not the best boxer in the division, but he has a pretty good understanding of the jab sometimes. And even against Cerrone a little bit. You know, Tony's fundamentals, right, outside of his long jab, his fundamentals are predicated on forcing you to overcommit and him just catching him with some crazy shit. He'll throw leg kicks. He 100% believes in his toughness, and it's only so long that the body can do such things like that. But I remember like reading an article when he was referencing the Danny Castillo loss and the way how he felt about, he just held me against the cage, etc., etc. And I'm a believer that, you know, sometimes where in some cases it can be pretty boring. And obviously the fighter has to look to do some damage to actually win the round, but that's a whole conversation for another day I can have with people. Yeah, this guy's panicking all over the place. There's something to be said. Yeah, he's going. Oh, fucking Christ. No, you're not getting shit, bro. I went off there. We went off going the whole fucking sentence and just blitzing this dude. Every time where Tony didn't have a freaking double. Can you believe that? I think. But fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, when a fighter like kind of looks back, he didn't lose to Danny Castillo. Excuse me if I said that, but he just didn't look fond of somebody grappling him, right? And I remember Kevin Lee was able to mount him, and Kevin Lee was dealing with a staph infection. We've seen how devastating Kevin Lee's top game is. You can look at those fights, even though those fights that he won against Kevin Lee. Gosh, I don't know why I pulled that. There's just some deficiencies. And Justin Gaethje, for starters, you know, Tony Ferguson hadn't shot a takedown in like 7 years. Like, if you look at the fight metrics, he hasn't shot a takedown in like 7 years. Closest to the takedown is him going for Imanari rolls. Justin, his wrestling is anti-wrestling. It's anti-jiu-jitsu, basically. Khabib being an outlier. Usually when people shoot, he rolls through. He's able to funk out. He's able to do some crazy stuff. And he actually defended a couple of Khabib's takedowns really well. Tony was not taking down Justin Gaethje, and he was not going to submit Justin Gaethje because Justin Gaethje didn't get hurt the entire time in the fight, and he made Tony pay every single time he got in the pocket. And I think that if Tony had faced somebody like Dustin would have done him worse. I think Dustin would have fucked him up earlier, you know? And when you look at Tony, grappling-wise, you see his deficiencies from the Oliveira fight. You see him going against Benny Dairouche, who, if y'all didn't watch his fight with Carlos Diego Ferreira, CDF, the man can fucking grapple. So him losing to somebody who can wrestle with one of the best in jiu-jitsu and who's an ADC world championship. I think Dairouche has actually won an ADC title. Not too sure. Don't quote me on that. It's kind of hard to remember. He's body rock. I remember when in the middle of a showcase. Yeah, he's fucked. Yeah, he's in the blender. Oh, he's fucked up. Yeah, let's go. Oh my god, man, this guy's a zombie. But it's bad, man. He needs a fight where like somebody's not gonna be able to take him down. I don't think the shit tracked. But you know, I think it's kind of unfortunate timing. I think now's the time for Tony to fight somebody like Conor. You know, still hasn't never been knocked out technically. You know, standing TKO, he was getting battered. He's getting fucked up. But I think that's gonna be the time for Tony to fight. I think him and Conor should fight, and then the winner of that should fight RDA. And Dustin, you know, he's in the prime of his career, and I think that if he beats Oliveira, I don't think he's going to keep trying to defend that title. I think he beats Oliveira and then he retires. And that'll be a perfect little storybook ending for Dustin Poirier. This guy's hurt, and he's still sticking to the same game plan that's not working. And now he's trying to shoot, he's trying to grapple. Oh shit. He switched to the power. He drove and switched to the power takedown. Wow. That is impressive. I don't know where my stamina's at, obviously, but I'm impressed with that. That's actually how a lot of people get caught. I didn't realize that until later. I'm like, what? I denied that takedown. How do you get the power? It's because people are switching to the power takedown in the middle of their drives, and then you have to re-input L2, R2 in order to stop it. You're not going to get this, bro. But kudos to this guy. He just hit me with the chain, you know, stopped the initial takedown and then went to the power. Nice. You gotta do what you gotta do. I can't recall. I don't know if Tony did Tony slam on anybody in his career. Not too sure if he should have that, but you know what? I'll let it slide. The man's been through a lot. But on Dustin, I did also buy some of Dustin's hot sauce. I had it before. I bought 2 of them when he beat Conor in the rematch, and now him winning the trilogy. I had it cop 3. Came in a nice little box. I posted it on Twitter. It's pretty good. I'm not too big on hot sauce. Hot sauce that's too spicy, you know, like too crazy, but not obviously too underwhelming either. For me, it's the right thing. I'm not saying that just because I'm a fan of Dustin. It's also because, hey, shit, I like the hot sauce. My girlfriend likes the hot sauce. Shit, we're gonna buy it. You know, fuck up Tony Rubber Girl. Who would have thought? Dustin using that omoplata soup on Hooker is so fucking dope. That fight's crazy, but feels like I've been fighting this guy forever, man. In between all the little, you know, the shitty quick fights where you get those bums that like kind of rage quit after you dodge a strike or something, or you deny a takedown. At least it's kind of good to have a fight that at least goes into the 4th round, you know. Probably leave this one as the last one because I don't want to be up for too long. It's hard enough to find a decent fight as it is. And this guy's doing a good job, you know, hanging in there. But yeah, I'm going to try to do Man, I've been on for about, just casually back taking. I've been on for about almost an hour and 40 minutes or so, just trying to get some decent fights. Go check the rank in this middleweight, welterweight, bro. Can't even do that, but it's all good. We're gonna see if we can get this sub. His stamina's so fucked up. I just know it. It's all good. It's a wrap. And it'll be a nice little poetic way to end the showcase, right? Man, and those of you who enjoyed it, if y'all enjoy a little art that I've been doing with Dustin Poirier, trying to fight like him, trying to use his combinations, using his best type of counters, his favorite counters, his intercepting counters. That's the type of shit I like to do with my showcases, and I'll be bringing that back a lot more. But with that, we take Tony's arm home. And honestly, man, Dustin Poirier has solidified himself as one of the best lightweights of all time. Like, one of the best lightweights of all time. He's in that top 3 conversation for me. And if he wins the undisputed belt, you know, he's an interim champion. And he won it over a featherweight great in Max Holloway. But if he goes out and he beats Charles Oliveira and he makes it not even look close, or he goes through a war and beats him through that too, whichever way that he wins and he beats Oliveira, who's in clearly the prime of his career right now, the man can't be denied. Like, one of the best ever. And it's awesome to see how this man has grown in this sport. But we're going to let that be the last fight. Number 17, I'm out of here.